Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Scott Townsend Show. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been generating quite a bit of buzz and frankly, some frustrated some frustration among shoppers. Self-checkout. You know what I'm talking about. That section of the store where you can scan, bag, and pay for your items without the help of a cashier. Many retailers are pushing this option hard, but are customers really on board? Does it make sense for retailers to keep promoting something that seems to be causing more irritation than convenience? First, let's set the scene. Self checkout systems were introduced with the promise of convenience and efficiency. Retailers touted them as a way to reduce wait times, cut labor costs, and offer customers a quicker shopping experience. But here's the kicker: a lot of customers don't like self checkout. In fact, according to Radiant's State of Self Checkout Experiences survey, it's a mouthful, only about 35% of shoppers prefer to self checkout over traditional cashier staffed lanes. That leaves a whopping 65% who are either indifferent or outright dislike the self checkout experience. So, why the disconnect? Well, let's break it down. For many customers, self checkout is fraught with issues: malfunctions, item misscans, and the dreaded unexpected item in the bagging area prompt. These problems can turn what should be a quick transaction into a frustrating ordeal. This frustration can be amplified for those who aren't tech savvy or are purchasing a large number of items. Moreover, there's a feeling among some shoppers that they're doing the job of a cashier without the benefit of a paycheck. A Schiegel Brainwave consumer study revealed that 46% of consumers avoid self checkout due to technical difficulties and the perception that it's simply not their job. Now, retailers might argue that these systems save on labor costs, but at what cost to the customer experience and brand loyalty? Let's talk about the relationship between the brand and the customer. Retail is a highly competitive industry where customer experience can make or break a brand. A positive interaction with a friendly, helpful cashier can be the highlight of a customer's shopping trip. An opportunity to build rapport, address concerns, and ensure the customer leaves the store satisfied. When you replace that human interaction with the machine, you're not just changing the process, you're changing the experience. According to a McKinsey and Company report on customer experience, companies that prioritize the customer journey outperform their competitors by nearly 80%. Removing the human element from the checkout process can erode that crucial connection between the brand and the customer. Case in point, let's look at Nordstrom, a retailer renowned for its exceptional customer service. They empower their employees to go above and beyond to make customers happy, which has built a loyal customer base willing to pay a premium for that level of service, as documented in numerous business case studies on Nordstrom's customer centric model. If Nordstrom were to replace their staff with self checkout machines, it's hard to imagine customers would continue to feel the same level of care and personalized attention. Similar, Similarly, Trader Joe's is another example. Their staff, known as crew members, are trained to engage with customers, answer questions, and provide a warm, welcoming environment. This approach has been a significant factor in their strong customer loyalty and high satisfaction ratings, according to various shopper polls and business analysis. Introducing self checkout could undermine these positive interactions and dilute the brand's image. So, why are retailers sticking with self checkout despite the drawbacks? Often, it boils down to cost savings and efficiency. Labor is one of the highest expenses in retail, and self checkout promises to reduce these costs. But is it worth the trade off? Let's think about the long term implications. If customers consistently leave the store feeling frustrated and undervalued, they're less likely to return. They might even share their negative experiences with friends or on social. They might even share their negative experiences with friends or on social media, further damaging the brand's reputation. On the flip side, addressing these frustrations head on can turn a potentially bad situation into a positive one. But here's something important to note. Not every retailer has stuck with self checkout once they've tried it. For example, the New England based supermarket chain Big Y removed all self checkout lanes in 2011, citing that the machines weren't speeding up transaction times and that many customers preferred the personal touch of a staffed register. Similarly, Albertsons removed self checkouts in several locations around 2011 to emphasize personal service, though they later reintroduced modified self checkout solutions. Costco initially phased out self checkout lanes in 2013, but brought them back a few years later after refining the technology. These examples show that self checkout's success or failure often depends on the retailer's specific operations, customer demographics, and willingness to adapt. Take a lesson from Starbucks. They've faced criticism for long wait times, but instead of doubling down on automation, they've focused on improving the in-store experience. They introduced mobile ordering to streamline the process without sacrificing the human touch. Customers can place their orders ahead of time, but still interact with friendly baristas when they pick up their drinks. This approach balances efficiency with customer satisfaction, as shown in Starbucks' quarterly earnings reports, where customer loyalty metrics remain high. Another example is Zappos, famous for its customer-centric policies. They empower their customer service reps to take as long as needed on calls to ensure customers are happy. This commitment to exceptional service has led to a fiercely loyal customer base and strong word-of-mouth referrals, as detailed in Tony Hsieh's book, Delivering Happiness. So, where does this leave us? It's clear that while self-checkout may offer some operational efficiencies, it's not without significant downsides. Retailers need to weigh the immediate cost savings against the potential long-term damage to customer relationships and brand loyalty. To wrap up, if you're a retailer considering expanding self-checkout options, remember that technology should enhance the customer experience, not detract from it. It might be worth investing in staff training and customer service initiatives instead. After all, a happy customer is a repeat customer, and in today's competitive market, that's more valuable than ever. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Scott Townsend Show. If you've got thoughts on self-checkout or have had an interesting experience, good or bad, let us know. You can find us on social media or shoot us an email at scott@scotttownsend.info. This is Scott Townsend. Thanks for listening to the Scott Townsend Show. Have a great day. Everything's going to be all right. And we'll talk to you later.